Okay, so if you'd asked me this while I was still in grad school, I would probably not have answered it because that was the dreaded question for everyone. But I decided to move back home right after graduate school because I really feel like there's a lot that can be done here, not just in Ghana, but in Africa as a whole. And I think we Africans have known that for a very long time because we know there's so many challenges, but I think the rest of the world is also beginning to realize that. Now, what I'm hoping to do is, I'm really hoping to take Circumspecte to the next level. And with that, I believe that I can offer a lot of value and service with regards to communications. And communication or communicating is something that, it's been here since the beginning of time. Even if you were using a drum or you were using fire, you have to communicate, especially today. But I think a lot of companies and businesses don't quite have their finger on how to portray themselves, how to showcase what they're doing, how to showcase the kind of impact they're having. And I believe I can help with that because I'm great at technical writing, but I'm also good at creative writing and merging the two and helping people tell their stories. So I'm hoping to formalize Circumspecte in that sense, maybe start up a consultancy of some sorts that focuses on that. In addition, I'm obviously a big proponent of following your passion. I can't talk too much about this project, but I think you should keep your eyes open because you're going to see something coming up that can help encourage young people to develop their passions, discover and develop their passions and skills, and to make the greatest impact they can in their own lives as well as with others. And I'm hoping to also gain a better understanding of the African continent by visiting other countries. And I think we've reached a point where we need to have more collaboration across African countries or have more of a discussion across African countries. So if you watch any of Vlogging Ghana's Google Plus Hangouts, you'll notice that that's kind of where we're gearing towards. We're trying to get more young African voices in the same sphere. So there are a bunch of other projects I'm working on in that regard, and that is regardless of the language barrier. So we're gonna try to get the francophones in there as well, and those of us with some level of French can probably help with that. And who knows, down the line we might be able to include Northern Africa as well. So, yeah. First thing is, don't follow in my footsteps and don't pursue a similar path. Why? Because I think everyone has their own path, and definitely learn from the paths of other people, learn from what other people have done, but don't go at it with the mind of emulating exactly what they do, because there are different ingredients in the pots. You're a different person, I'm a different person, we have different circumstances. That said, what has really made a big difference for me is really ensuring that whatever I do, I'm following or trying to follow my passion and trying to stay true to myself. I mean, there are some times when you probably don't know what your passion is or you're confused, but do what feels right. Don't listen to your body, listen to, this begins to sound very, very psycho mumbo jumbo, but really take a moment to figure out if this is something you would be willing to risk a lot for. And then if it is, take that plunge. And also, don't be afraid to take a plunge. There were many times when I didn't know what the heck I was doing. But as they say, you act it and then you are. So if you don't know what you're doing, do as much research as you can about what you're trying to do, whether from people, the internet. If you don't have access to those, just come up with what you think is the way it should be done and do it. And it's not going to be perfect the first time or even the second time, but you're gonna develop it over time, and that's really what life is. It's about developing things yourself over time. So, give yourself time, figure out your passion, know that you have your own path, and above all, stay true to yourself.